Something's happening. Okay. No, we got to go through the commercial.
Some people are just going to have. Some people are just going to have to go through adverts.
Yeah. So we all good?
Yay, ads.
Did I just watch a Twitch streamer eat a cold Hot Pocket for this commercial?
Well, here's the thing. So, by the way, Caleb, you are out of focus coming into me with your camera.
Oh, great.
Come on, don't tell him.
I kind of liked the whole mystery Caleb edition. It was
that's supposed to be.
You've got it wrong. You've got it wrong. We're applying CCP's new waste mechanics to the stream.
Oh, since it's
on
a
Caleb's thing.
So I'm the most wasted on the stream. Fine, I get you.
It actually unset your Chrome.
I mean, that's a compliment, if anything.
You're using excavator drones right now, Caleb. So,
hey, the
most of your pixels are being wasted when they come into us.
Excavators got better. Give them at least
no,
it's not 100%. Yeah, it's not 100%.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yes. It's
let's acknowledge that it did get better.
Yeah, but we knew what was all. You need to understand that this is running a 60% chance coin flip of 100% being wasted, and thus, if you get really unlucky, you're still wasting 100% all of the time.
Hey, I'm just pointing out.
That's not. I don't think that's how that works. I think it's a pseudo random.
Yes, it is.
It's not true random, it's pseudo-random.
Don't you love?
It's a random number generation, Dawn. It's going to flip whichever way it wants.
No. In pseudo-random, it means that if you don't get a certain probability, the next flip has a higher probability of being the other one. So it's a balance.
As far as we're aware, that's not how they're doing it, because people have had it rolling full waste every time.
See, most companies do pseudo-random to help keep the balance, even though it's technically random. It's not actually random.
I have a question, Bargos. Is rolling for waste in CCP terms kind of the same as, when your porta potty tips over and you roll downhill? Is that the same? Or does it just feel the same? I don't know.
This guy was fishing and there was no water.
I'm just stuck on if you have ever been in a rolling porta potty, why is there no fucking pictures?
Oh, there's stickers inside. It says CCP is great.
So, are we back yet? Do we actually?
We're back, baby. We have sound.
Okay.
This is, by the way, this show is all about Horrendous, everybody. This is the Horrendous Show. Welcome to the first episode of the Horrendous Show. Here he is. Go ahead. You're breaking up.
Yeah, now you're breaking up.
Yeah, now you're breaking up. Man.
See, the Horrendous Show has the same technical difficulties as every other show.
This is interesting. We generally have technical difficulties, and now that you said it's the Horrendous Show, the technical difficulties suddenly went horrendous.
Woohoo! Ha-ha!
Very nice.
Dr. Susan Nero.
Why did you say
Horrendous is everybody's boss. That's why we love him.
By the way, you're way louder than everyone else.
Who?
So does this sound normal now?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, good. So,
did you sacrifice a goat for a better internet?
No, I disconnected from Discord and reconnected.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question.
We have answers.
Since we're starting off now.
I mean, it's horrendous. We may not actually have answers.
Has anything interesting happened with the mining stuff lately?
Yeah.
I mean, apart from it being...
By the way, they're running all mining changes through Dawn for approval, just so everybody knows. So if you have problems, Dawn.
Listen, I have good ideas.
I mean, they're better ideas than CCP, so, at the moment, we classify that as better.
By the way, if you guys are wondering why I'm salty, it's because we are still talking about fucking mining and industry changes after 2 years of this shit.
Yeah, I mean...
Can we have some changes?
I still got it looking. I was trying to look for the date, because we're pretty much at 2 years to the day, roughly, since the first changes happened.
Wow. In that time, they could have actually probably given us a good Savor system, but okay.
Yeah, what was it? There was a Reddit post last night, right, of in all this shouting and chaos and rage, please don't let it be forgot that faction warfare still exists.
I was talking about faction warfare.
We could have had 2 years spent on faction warfare development.
Nope. Faction warfare doesn't exist. Why?
Bullshit.
No
one even uses that mechanic. Jesus Christ.
Nope.
I don't know.
Faction warfare is fine because no CCP is
Who the hell fights wars by going to a button in space and orbiting it for a while? That's just silly.
Why did Bodgos use the poetic version of "to forget"? I'm just wondering.
I want you all to know.
What did I say?
You said "forgot" instead of "forgotten."
I just want everybody to know that I'm having some backroom meetings with CCP, and they're going to change the Sov warfare mechanic, and they are going to rejuvenate the now unrejuvenated Rorqual, so that the Rorqual is the only thing that you can use in Sov warfare.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes,
to take down nodes.
But it will still have the waste mechanic.
Well, you will have waste. You will have waste.
You have a 34% chance that 50% of your space will have a 75% chance to lose all of its walls.
You said that. You said that with a straight face. That was really good.
You clearly misunderstood how the waste mechanic will work.
All right, how's it work?
It's a random % chance for systems to just completely disappear.
Oh, okay. Oh, fantastic.
Hold on, is this the Triglavian invasion all over again?
No. They won't be going to Pochven.
No. They're just disappearing this time.
I just want you to remember that no one has more Rorquals in the Imperium, and we're ready to invade. If there's that percentage chance that the system will just disappear, that's phenomenal for an invasion force. I mean, hell, I'm going to lose a Rorqual, but they're going to lose a system. That's great. I love it.
No, not necessarily the system you're in.
Ooh. Some random system in the entirety of the game?
Oh, that just sounds like music to Chaotic Evil's ears.
You'll get your yield, but another system will be wasted. Unless, of course, you're out of systems to take, in which case the waste will be factored in first, so you may disappear.
I'm just imagining Vegeta going...
Yes, Dawn. When you're mining, the waste is factored in first, so if there's very little left, the waste goes and you don't get anything from the rock.
So if there's 100, if there's 100 in the rock and you're getting a yield of 80, but you're going to generate 80 waste, then you only get 20.
Yes, I know this.
This is like the greatest game ever.
The strategy is that it kind of is.
Hey, I'm just saying, Royal Cat Royal wants some salt.
I think the update is important, and it has a lot of good stuff going for it. But I do hope they're ready for the unintended consequences that will happen.
Oh, who's excited about the EHP changes?
Well, I'm excited about the fact that they roll out a change that's actually good, and then they forget that if you have something that has 0 waste and everything else has waste, then a lot of people will opt for the perfect solution. So how about you don't have 0, but the lowest waste on T1?
I actually like
my option.
The thing that we discussed earlier before we went online way more than the waste.
Copyright.
Can you give me a couple minutes to do it? No, that was mine.
No,
I got to go get some food, so I'll explain it when I get back.
Honestly, so many people have pitched their own ideas as to what would be a better solution to CCP's kind of proposals. That nobody can really copyright anything.
Listen, my idea
is literally just common sense at this point.
Look, clearly I can copyright all of it because my proposal is use letters and numbers. There.
Oh shit. Yeah, I understand.
You're all going to be derivative from mine. Deal with it.
All right, stupid puzzles.
Checkmate.
No, I had the best one.
Does it use letters and numbers?
Yes.
Yes.
Checkmates.
royalties, baby.
You get
licensing fees.
Are you trying to get a job at Apple or something?
It sounds like it.
Renders, are you behind this new thing of allowing the users to actually repair their stuff? Is that some sort of evil plan that you've concocted?
I'm sorry. Last time I checked, Apple uses a lot of letters and numbers in their work too. I'm going to be expecting a check from them.
I've written a lot of computer code, Arendis, and it uses a lot of letters and numbers. I'll send you a list of those companies who have used that, so that you can reach out to them with your legal.
I will issue invoices. Yes.
Okay.
My proposal is entirely in emojis.
Hey, guys! I found a workaround. We all switch to Chinese because that's not letters.
Yeah, symbology.
That's iconography and symbols. So
No.
I went the direction of emojis because, it's.
We're gonna use ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs.
Yeah, and emojis that works. Arendis gets no monies.
That's fine.
You'll know the terrible updates from me because a lot of the stuff will be poop emojis.
But the good ones will be eggplants for days.
Much like mining.
Dawn, put down the eggplant emoji, please.
I'm sure there will be some people who are willing to suffer not getting all of their stuff.
Oh, we should do just emote only chat. Just so that
Jesus, please, no, Dawn.
Well, yeah, we could do that for like 5 minutes.
No.
You think it would be fun, but it'll turn into horrible.
It already started. Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's
number one. We have an eggplant.
This is why we generally don't let Dawn have suggestions.
Oh no.
Didn't we learn from?
Give us your most cohesive emote, guys.
Thanks, Fluffy Leopard.
Didn't we learn from Tess putting the Discord into 1 hour slow mode?
And so it begins.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be the first slow mode.
What is that coming out of the butt of
That's
the emoji?
lightning. It's lightning, baby.
It's Thunderbolt and lightning. It's very, very frightening.
Scared. I mean, I'm not. No Michael Jackson, okay? No fucking Michael Jackson. Salt.
Hello.
Right. So I have a hello. So I have a question.
Very gravelly.
We are coming into the holidays here. And I'm gonna pull up my handy dandy. I can't believe November's almost freaking over, by the way, guys.
I know, right?
Holy hell. I mean, it was just I don't know, Halloween the other day. By the way, all my Christmas decorations are pretty much up. By the way,
before Halloween was over.
No, they were up after Halloween. They came and put the lights outside the house after Halloween. Don't. The Christmas trees came up shortly. We do have to decorate the Christmas trees.
I am glad that you guys are finally not actively celebrating Thanksgiving's Day, considering what it actually means.
No, we absolutely will actively do Thanksgiving. Absolutely, that's an inside holiday.
Where are your Thanksgiving?
People do not. Well, actually, I have a digital Thanksgiving decoration, which will play in the upstairs loft windows that say "Happy Thanksgiving," and it has little animation.
A single one. A single one.
Hey,
that's good.
This is not the Eric.
I mean, what do you want us to do? Dress up like pilgrims and eat venison? I mean, what do you want here? Okay, you guys are creative when it comes. Thanksgiving is very much commingled with Christmas decorations here for decades. But we have some real things to discuss. Okay, so the good news is
using emojis, guys.
Yeah. The good news is coming up here the first week in December, they are basically ripping my windows out of my house on the 9th and 10th and putting new windows in, which is good news because the 11th we should be good.
Unless it rains horrendously at that particular
who knows, right? So hopefully they won't be doing any residual work on Saturday. We won't have to tolerate that. But we do have a challenge here in December. December 25th is a Christmas
holiday.
For it's Christmas.
Christmas
well, no, because what in my brain said, it's Christmas for the non-Jewish. But so by the way, we have Hanukkah here too, so I can get away with that one. So yeah, we have Christmas on Saturday. We're gonna do a show. We're gonna do a Christmas show on the 25th, or are we gonna lay low?
So normally I'm fine with it, but normally on Christmas Day, we
Christmas
go
Day.
See a movie.
You see a movie on Christmas? Do you see like Die Hard? Is that what you're watching? You go see Die Hard?
We go to the movie theater and
you watch Die Hard, right? Because that's a Christmas show. That is the quintessential Christmas show.
If they had it, we would.
It is a Christmas film, yes.
Okay, so we'll take that under advisement whether we do a early Christmas show. We're going to see what we do.
And just for the sake of all those people out there who get annoyed at the idea of Die Hard as a Christmas movie, Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie. It is not just a movie that takes place at Christmas. It is a movie about redemption and forgiveness and family.
There you go. That's they should show that shit on Hallmark. It's so good.
They should.
Quintessential Christmas family film tropes.
It really is.
Does that mean that the Fast and Furious movies are Christmas movies as well?
Only if they take place at Christmas.
Yeah.
And have redemption arc.
Yeah, there needs to be an actual redemption arc, not just Vin Diesel growling the word family like 50 times every minute.
I don't even think he says it that much.
So anyway,
family.
So we are very much coming up here on Christmas and Hanukkah. So we may have those things incorporated into the show a little bit.
Eric, I'm shocked at you.
What?
I am absolutely shocked at you. What is this war on Kwanzaa shit? Christmas and Hanukkah.
Well, if anybody on the show celebrate Kwanzaa? Do you, Arendis? If you celebrate Arendis, we're gonna keep it in. But this is about the host.
It's a completely made up holiday for selling shit in the U.S. I would think, Eric, it would basically be your holiday.
No.
Isn't that most
in the Eric household?
It's like this couldn't be more of an Amazon holiday if it tried.
It isn't, but we're not going to go into the history of Kwanzaa. Thank you.
I thought we're talking about Christmas.
I want to be clear that I would really like to have the Christmas show in July when Hallmark brings their Christmas ornaments out, but nobody lets me do that here on the show. I always get outvoted.
When have we stopped?
So I'm fine with that.
Can I ask something somewhat like holiday related?
Sure.
No.
Because I'm not sure how far gone it is in the US compared to the UK, but we've had Black Friday deals start a week before Black Friday. Is it over there? Do you guys have Black Friday month?
A week or two before Halloween, Black Friday started.
Oh,
that is not true.
Really? I'm pretty sure.
That's where you do layaway
pre-orders. Sometime in August.
Sometime in August. The fuck.
It was early. They start. Even Amazon started early. I
was just like when I first saw it, I was like, no, this isn't the fucking Friday, dude. It's next Friday. Fucking Black Friday, you idiot.
So in the US, I think
you just gotta remember that the first time you get advertisements for Christmas, they start off with the count of days, and it's 364 days until Christmas.
Yeah. I think some of the Black Friday stuff in the US has to do with they're trying to capitalize on the supply chain news and saying, hey, we have product now. We might not have product when you want it at Christmas.
Yeah,
right?
probably.
And so they kind of jazzed it up early. That's what I think they did.
Get it now before it's gone.
Now, a buddy of mine I don't know how his wife wrecked his car. This is a funny story. I'm not going to tell you what kind of car it was, but she wrecked the car. Okay, so he needed to go buy a new one. No. So he went to the dealership and said, hey, I need a new car like my old car. And they said, well, hey, we got one on the lot here. It's X number of dollars, right? And he looked at it. He goes, that's a certified used car. That's $2,000 more than list on a brand new one. They go, hey, if you want it today, there it is, 20,000 plus miles on it and 2,000 more than a brand new one with no 1,000 miles on it, right? And he had them just kind of look, and they said, oh my God, there's one getting delivered in Maryland right now, and nobody's claimed it. He goes, I want it. And he got it in like 4 days, but yeah, they had to bring it up. He got lucky. And by the way, brand new, $2,000 less than the one they had in a lot with 20,000 plus miles on it. It's crazy here. It's crazy.
So what you're saying is he bought a car at this price?
He pretty much didn't care.
I mean, that is
now I'm confused.
An amazing story.
No. It was that miraculously there was one on the way from Germany that was unclaimed. There's a 2-month wait for a lot of cars here.
Only in America is like, I went to buy a car and I wasn't swindled. Hallelujah, this is the fucking land.
I know, isn't that like crazy as shit?
What the fuck is going on?
It was not a Mercedes, okay? But it was coming from Germany. Figure it out. There's only 4 cars it could be? No, not BMW. Again, ding, thanks, but Beamer, no, ding. Fahrvergnügen, close. You're not far from the mark, but no, it is not technically a Volkswagen.
They'll be just playing Go Fish with the...
I know, it's like, seriously, you haven't figured it out yet? Who does Volkswagen own?
Everybody? I mean...
No, not Porsche.
Mercedes, Porsche, BMW.
Sherman, no, it's not a tank. Again, not a Porsche. Thanks for playing. I mean, they would kick you out if you were playing some game shows on TV here.
Doesn't Volkswagen also own Lamborghini?
Yes, they do. Audi, correct.
It was the Lambo.
Ford Killer, got it.
I think it was Skoda, Seat.
I can't remember if it was an A7 or an A8 or A6, whatever the fuck you bought. But I love Audi because they've got the cool camera in the middle, where it's an infrared camera, right? So at night, shit on the side of the road, you can kind of see things crossing the road. And where I live, it is one of the highest areas for deer getting struck by cars. So
I didn't know.
I want that feature. I do not have that.
Owns Bentley.
I didn't know that either.
It's fucking strange, right?
Yeah, Bentley, Bugatti, Lamborghini.
Yeah. So anyway, it was $2,000 more to buy a used car was the point, McLeod, than getting one brand new.
Jesus.
Yeah, crazy.
We do have an important question pertaining to Germany for Soth. Will the new laws about weed be ready for the goon meet in Berlin next year?
I don't know.
That is actually critical, yeah.
What are the new laws?
They're legalizing it.
Well, no, they agreed that they want to legalize it. That doesn't mean they're
Oh my god,
do
that's like a pappy plan to have a fucking plan. That's never gonna fucking happen.
Yeah, but Caleb, one of those two I have more trust in to actually follow through.
Yeah, Volkswagen just go to Amsterdam or Las Vegas, right? Or Colorado.
I'm just going to let you know that weed isn't actually legal in Amsterdam.
Not according.
You have to be in one of the coffee shops.
Oh,
well, okay, yeah.
You can't just walk around with it.
So you,
even in the coffee shop,
you can have hookers in the windows, but you can't have a joint while you're walking
in the window.
Hookers and you can have a joint in the window, right? Because you can be inside a coffee shop. Is there like a hooker coffee shop where you can have weed and hookers?
Yeah, in the window.
Not that I'm pro either. I mean, because kind of not, but yes.
This went into some really, eggshell style territory.
I know, we're like, whoa.
So as Volt is saying, it's not police, but it's still technically not legal.
It's technically not legal to sell a bathtub in the state of Pennsylvania too, but I don't think that's policed either.
Did he just say that 40 grams is considered personal use?
For Dutch people,
wow, that's a lot of personal use.
Okay.
Jesus. I mean, have you been to Amsterdam? Yes, you have. You have been to Amsterdam.
Of course I have.
I mean, they have to deal with the Germans, Caleb, so yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like,
I like the comment. Germany has agreed that they want to legalize
by the way,
but that doesn't mean that they're going to do it. That's like
the
greatest statement ever.
I love that.
By the way, okay, the reply that Caleb had to that from Horrendous, like yeah, there should be a learning lesson to anybody who's not a European as to how as to the Europeans. Yeah.
Well, they are still busy talking about what the agenda is going to be for the coalition, because it's not one party that got elected. They formed a coalition of 3 parties because politics.
Oh, have they actually formed a coalition now?
They have said that.
Are they a happy coalition?
That's what I was going to ask.
They want to form a coalition. They still have to agree on the details.
They want to form a coalitions. Okay, yeah.
So how many top dogs and leaders are in that coalition?
Technically 4 out of 3 parties.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. What?
Experience also. This is going to end badly, right?
The Greens have a split leadership. They have 1 woman and 1 man.
Yep. Sorry, Greens have that in most places they stand. Yeah, co-leadership.
Do you have a purple coalition?
What would that represent?
We do. We do have a party that uses the color purple, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
But they are not called the Purples. So.
I mean, if you did, there's this really great episode of Babylon 5 where green and purple fight to the death, and the if there's more green when it's all over and all the purple are dead, then the green are in control.
That's generally how resolution
normally
and
how
conflict
fights work.
Yeah.
The Greens in Germany are usually also the pacifists. So
the pacifists.
Yeah, the old Navy way.
They're not going
to die losers.
Right.
Okay, what do we have to talk about now? We got green, purple. He who puts purple leader sash out of the bag is purple leader.
Is Bob back?
What the fuck was that?
I haven't a fucking clue.
Hey, by the way, so my wife came home.
My
wife came home with her cool new decoration toy. I really don't know, but it's a stuffed bear. And he's like a DJ, so he's got like little DJ things on, and he's got like little reggae, and he plays Hanukkah songs. And she thought this was cool. I'm like, where are we gonna put it? Maybe we'll use it in the show one day. The Hanukkah show. We'll bring the Hanukkah bear.
Here you go.
I laid a pack of bacon beside him this morning. Nobody laughed.
What?
My wife eats bacon.
all the bacon jokes in the UK are related to police.
Oh, what is that? Wayne's World? Where they go up the clock? I definitely smell a pork product of some kind here.
Yep. That would be reference to
the
law enforcement.
I love Wayne's World.
That just offended every cop in the audience.
What? Oh. Hey, we're you have to watch Wayne's World. It's not really a slap against the cop. He's a friend and they're just making fun of each other.
Well, are you thinking about all the thieves in our comms? Because I don't think there's any regular cops.
Hey, doesn't matter. I like cops.
I'm confused.
I'm a fan. Almost had one pull a gun on me once.
It's better for your life expectancy to be a friend of a cop than anything else.
Please stop. Like, I have so many jokes coming up in my head. That,
about what? What are the jokes?
Will definitely get us kicked off Twitch.
Oh, okay.
All right, I see.
I scared the crap out of a cop walking up my sidewalk to my door. Our fire alarm went off in the house because maybe Eric was cooking some potatoes to make mashed potatoes, but he was down in the basement and forgot about it, and all the water boiled away and the potatoes started burning. By the way, that's like the worst smell in the world. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
It's terrible. And, of course, I couldn't remember the special word for us, our safe word for our monitoring company, right? And, they said, well, we have to dispatch the police and the fire department. I'm like, that's fine, whatever. So I go to open the front door because I've got to air this place out, right? And as I opened the door, the cop was just like coming up my walkway and his hand went to his gun so fast. It was like, and by the way, if a door opens like that, I kind of get it. But it was wild. I'm like, no. Just open the door. Come on in. Hands are up. So yeah, that was the first time.
Come right force.
What?
I was just thinking like that fucking South Park joke with the hunters. Like,
Sorry, that was my car. I slashed my tire yesterday on accident.
Ugh.
Not even like yesterday was a fun day. My cat has an eye infection, and so I had to take him to the vet to get his eye partially sewn shut so it can try to heal. They'll undo it in a couple days. But so I had to take him, and then I'm backing out of my driveway, and as I back up, and then I turn, then go forward, and I turned, and I cut the corner too close, and I run into like one of the paving rocks or something that's out there, and I didn't think anything of it. And then as I'm driving, I'm like, my low tire pressure light just came on pretty quickly. But I'm like, I got to get to the vet. I have to. I have no time. I have to go. So I'm just driving. Right as I'm like pulling into the parking lot for the vet office, there's like smoke coming from the tire because it is completely flat. And I'm just driving on like rubber over a metal rim that's like, just like, well, I'm glad I made it here.
You're one of those people where you're driving behind them wondering, how the fuck do they not notice?
Listen, no, I knew like the second that low tire pressure like came on pretty quickly, I knew, but I was like, I gotta get there. I'll make it. It was only like a 10-minute, not even 10 minutes down the road, so it wasn't far, but it was just like, I gotta get the cat there. At least if I'm there, and I called my mom, was like, hey, can you just come pick me up and take me back home so I can start working? And then we'll deal with the tire later. So
the tire is smoking. Yeah. Tire is smoking because you're rolling it around on the rim so much. So basically, you've been driving, on the metal forever.
Almost on the rim.
Yeah. Well, what the only worst thing could have been happening if that tire catches on fire and burns your car up. That's all.
But it didn't happen. So
you got lucky.
Listen, that my cat means a lot to me. So I got him to the vet, and they did it. They took care of his eye. So the poor guy is running around today with his eye half sewn shut, and he's got to wear the cone of shame, and he is not happy about it.
The cone of shame. You know what would have been really cool too if you got like a pirate patch for him and just like,
Well, see, my dog
or a monocle. Monocle would help him. Monocle would help him. Monocle.
Is that an $80 monocle?
I don't know how a monocle would help him, but
okay. Tell me, cat with a monocle. That's cool as shit, man. Okay, get him a monocle. A little super glue. It'll stay right there.
I mean, Dawn, he only has one eye right now. He doesn't need 2 glasses. Monocle is fine, right?
Yeah. He's been cuddling with me, even though he's very mad at me. He's such a love bug. He loves, like, I'm trying to sleep, and all of a sudden I hear a bump, and then just like I can feel him kind of like clunking around, and then all of a sudden his cone starts hitting me in the face as he's trying to get next to me and cuddle up with me.
You know, if I hit her with the cone and it's uncomfortable, maybe she'll take it off me.
Exactly. He's such a cutie. Poor baby.
I was gonna fucking say.
Apparently there's a fight going on or something right now.
Yeah, I'll give the TLDR of that. Currently in it, Zintage and Zintage are fighting Try, Snuff, and Volta.
Are they having fun?
I don't fucking know. I'm gonna look at Pando's stream to see if Pando's streaming it. If not, I'll burn an alt up there and I'll give you guys updates.
No, I wanted that Meryl.
You know, the guys...
Why fight single groups of elite PvPers at the same, individually, when you can fight them
have them
all
at
the same time?
I was gonna say, like, it's kind of funny. So someone the other day was talking about how, quote-unquote, Ranger Regiment's dead, and then I see a BR yesterday morning of Ranger Regiment Turbo fucking Try, and I just felt... I was like, yes, they're back!
You know... We are, what is it? We are Volta, right? They always strike me, whenever I hear their name, like, they're the dudes on that thing that's like, Zoltan! Right? And walking around the bubble wrap. That's what they just strike me as. Probably offended all the Volta people in the audience.
They're not real people. It's fine.
Yeah.
Wow. Don, you can't just call people not real people. That's not how this works.
It is
exactly
clearly
how
she
it
wasn't
works.
calling people not real people. If they're not real people, they're not people to be called not real people.
Yeah,
Clearly.
yeah. And donate to our charity, People Helping People.
Oh, and I hope everyone enjoyed watching NSH get fucked in the ass by themselves.
You can't. This is a family show. You can't say that.
No.
I certainly can.
Show dampers are on.
No.
Nope. Family show dampers on. That means, don't be like swearing and shit.
As he says,
I've heard all of us swear. I've heard us swearing all thing. I didn't go into details about how they're gonna fuck them in the ass.
Okay, I just want to say something. Volta disappoints me. They're running T2 fit Macarials. What pores? Seriously.
Well, about that.
They are
what
everybody
might
look as though they are pores after a little bit if the changes carry on.
Listen, they spent all their money on the ships. They had no money for fittings.
Did they get off tether range now? And
Volta runs enough pot. I was gonna say Volta runs enough Pochvin sites to do enough. And yeah, currently they're fighting. It seems like our fleet is defanging or some shit. I'll have an alt there in about 5 minutes, so I'll be able to give up to date fight coverage.
Look at.
You can update us on. You can update us on how the looting is going.
Yeah. By the way,
I will totally not be
capitals
looting.
Involved.
Yes, there is a carrier. There is a snuffed out carrier fleet involved, and triumvirate carrier fleet.
So Smug, is that like instant iced tea or like actual brewed iced tea?
It's something in between. So it's an actual, tea bag that you put in.
What?
You can put it in cold water.
What did you say again?
Did you know that teabagging is how you universally communicate in games that have no voice or text chat?
What does it mean?
Well,
means
there's
thank
a couple
you kindly, sir.
Yeah, it's like hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Meet your acquaintance.
Let me put my balls on your face.
So you've got this tea bag,
yeah.
And does it make the sweet iced tea or just tea or what? I mean, help us understand.
It's not that sweet, like not as sweet as that instant stuff you get. But it is a bit sweeter than just regular tea.
What are you guys whispering to each other?
The sauce is teabagging his beverage.
Okay,
family show, fellas.
Not sweet.
Hey,
Quick update.
We just said what teabagging is defined as.
So I do have a quick update on the fight.
Okay, fight update.
Hello Meow is currently the top killing goon, having killed more DPS ships than the goon fleets have so far, but the goon fleets are killing fighters. So Hello Meow, our mute
MVP.
Dude, that guy literally will be in the middle of a fight and like we'll be down 1 billion ISK, and by the end of the fight he's killed an extra 3 billion ISK of hacks. He's fucking amazing.
What does he do? Just like probe out with a Hecate and murder somebody solo, or?
So we're convinced he lives in the server because he insta-locks so fast it's like holy fucking shit. Like, wait, sorry, it's a family show. Sorry.
Yeah. Can you please? I mean, you know.
Yeah, but sorry, I have to
get out of that bag.
But long story short, this man literally can tackle just about everything.
Wow.
I got a goon that can tackle something. Holy shit.
See, he's not a goon, he's a spy. Clearly.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry, yeah, that's a good point.
He can't be a goon. But
Caleb's really milking that cigarette down to the like teeny tiniest nub of anything. You're gonna be into the filter soon, for crying out loud.
He's got to be.
That's where the good stuff is.
That's where the good stuff is. Yeah, that burning plastic. Oh, gotta get that.
I need those carcinogens.
Is that a natural? Is that all natural cigarette? Is that what that is? All natural? No artificial flavors or fillers? Alrighty.
Are we doing a Thanksgiving?
Yeah, that's what guys. Thanksgiving, after Black Friday, Cyber Saturday or whatever the hell it is.
We're going to talk about what food we made and shit.
Absolutely. Pictures. We'll have pictures,
Wait. Someone thought this was a news channel.
What?
No, this is Zorn.
This is a muse channel. We muse ourselves.
We are we're a food program on Imperium News. So yeah,
I think Zorn's never been here to understand that what we do. We do talk about the news. Like last week, we spent like 3 hours talking about Eve, the changes to the mining, what we liked, what we didn't like, which was 95% didn't like. And then some weeks we're like, hey, I just, made a really good soup. I had these enchiladas. Oh, by the way, this horrible thing has happened in the game. We'll talk about that for 20 minutes. It's flowing.
And then we, of course, segue into things like Americans can't cook and Americans can't language.
And the endless cider situation.
The cider war is real.
And the less I've said about it right now, the better, please. Thank you very much.
Well, my preference of it, so fuck that.
But we do owe the audience a lot of food stuff, right? Because we completely had no food in the last episode. So we should talk more about food today.
Well, I will say I have been committed to using my Instant Pot for as much as possible, and it's become a tradition on Locust Fleets to help me find a recipe for the week to try out. So we are up to 4 now.
Also, I wanted to say something. Also, I wanted to let people know that 71% of the Earth is water, and a huge percentage of that is not carbonated. So essentially, the world is flat.
Fuck's sakes.
That was 1 out of 3. You have 2 left, McLeod. 2 dad jokes left.
I mean, it's not really dad joke, but
it fucking is. It's a badum-tish.
That's just pretty bad.
You're welcome.
You guys.
It is pretty bad.
Now,
Bart is back, I hear, so...
I've been here for a while. I've been here for a while. God damn it!
I know, but people keep talking.
Well,
you want to tell us about this idea?
So give everyone context, because we've got to now hard shift back onto the correct topic, right?
Hot Pockets or White Castle? Which is the right topic? Hot Pockets or White Castle?
You said pockets, not cotics. Okay.
Pockets, Hot Pockets, or By the way, I have any of you seen the movie The Rockstar? Anybody in chat ever seen the movie The Rockstar?
It's familiar, but I can't call it.
Okay, you gotta watch it. It's on Amazon Prime.
Are you gonna explain what it is? Or
I gotta stop laughing first when I thought of it. Right. So he goes, yeah. So the guy goes, you got to do something for luck before you go out on stage. He pukes in his hand and then puts it in his pocket. And he goes, some people put a rabbit's foot in there, but I put puke in the pocket. It's the greatest thing. It's the best thing for luck ever.
It's disgusting.
The fight's over.
It is? Did we win?
Yeah, they jumped the carriers out. Border's eyes rough.
Babies. Apparently calling someone a pussy is more offensive than...
Hold on.
Why?
What?
Pussy? Wait, hold up. Pussy doesn't even come in the term of the female anatomy. It comes in the term from the word pussy-animus, which means coward.
Hey, I'm just going to reference 2 movies that are widely acclaimed. Okay? Octopussy and Goldfinger, where you have pussy galore. Hey, it's fine.
Listen, pussy galore. Actually, I love that.
He appealed to her maternal instincts in that movie. 007 did.
Does he have mommy issues?
I'm not. Just,
Did this turn into Theta Call? That's the...
Thanks to him.
Hey, by the way.
You guys participated.
My poor children have, raked the leaves out of the front yard 12 times already this year, and all the leaves still aren't down. I only have 2 trees, and the one tree still doesn't have all its leaves gone.
I'm surprised they didn't take a fucking chainsaw to it. That's what I would do.
It's a beautiful tree.
Okay.
I'd still take a chainsaw to it.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
Okay, they would have to have a chainsaw. We don't have a chainsaw. I don't need a chainsaw.
I'm sure there's someone local that has one.
Yes, but they won't give it to him. My neighbor has a backhoe, which is the coolest thing. Backhoe. Let's dig in the dirt like we're 10, but it's real dirt, and make a hole. That's awesome. Backhoe. No, they're good. You gotta. Are you all done with the leaves? Yeah. Yeah. See. Don't you love the leaves? Inquiring minds on the show want to know, okay, why you haven't just taken a chainsaw to the tree and gotten rid of it by now.
Because technically, don't we have to have 2 trees?
There you go, home association. We gotta have 2 trees.
Sorry, yes, I forgot you Americans have that crap. Yeah.
I know. Gotta have 2 trees. Notice he didn't say,
housing associations.
Eric, I'm forced to ask the inevitable follow-up.
Sure.
Why haven't they taken a chainsaw to the housing association?
That's the correct one.
Dad might have been on the board for a while. I don't know.
Is he still?
No, he's not.
Pay mine.
Then it's all good.
They put out an email the other day saying, hey, we really need to reform the playground committee. Does anybody want to join the play? No. Because the playground needs painted again. When we actually had children in the neighborhood, we needed a playground down in the common area. We don't have any children in the neighborhood. Just get rid of the goddamn playground, okay? Nobody uses it.
They probably just want it because it's a fucking eyesore or something, and they want it to look better so the property value goes up.
No, I overlooked. Yeah. I overlooked the common area. It looks fine. Trust me.
And they want to attract new buyers into the area.
Yeah, when a house goes up for sale in this neighborhood, it's on the market for 3 days, and sells over.
Kai Singh just asked a good question. Eric.
What?
Do bonsai trees count?
Well, technically, I would think they would. But I'm not sure they would make
They are a tree.
Would they make it through the winter?
Yes.
Okay.
They can.
Because they'll be indoors.
No, you can have them outdoors and they'll survive.
I do want to pull.
There's still a tree.
We have two big maple
They're
trees in the
smaller.
front, and I do want to take the one out and just replace it with a nice evergreen tree. That would be good. That would cut one down.
And then you could just decorate that for Christmas.
We could. I don't think the thought has escaped my brain.
I try not to think about your thoughts.
It's HOAs, Soren. HOAs. Yeah, I mean, we would definitely color coordinate it with the rest of the house. The lights I really want though, but they're just ungodly expensive. You see those twinkly lights? Go to YouTube and search for twinkly. Okay, these lights are the coolest individually addressable Christmas lights ever on a tree, or you can put them like on your garland on your tree, on your wall, whatever, and coordinate them with software on your phone so that whatever pattern you want goes across all of them at the same time. It's amazing.
Just sounds like RGB strips, but with extra steps.
Meppa, no, apple trees are actually unattractive. Because you have to kind of crop the top of them and keep them low.
Maple trees.
Well, no, he says.
Or is he talking about the eye tree?
Yeah. Plus, we can actually tap our maples and do maple syrup if we wanted to, but yeah, we're too lazy to make maple syrup.
Honestly, at this point in America's consumerism, when you said apple tree, I genuinely wondered whether Apple had made a new product called the Apple eye tree.
The eye tree. Yeah, each branch has a different fruit. Actually, they have those too.
And you need to pay each year to update so it actually works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny Appleseed, baby.
Well, together is a thing.
Well,
by the way,
at least it isn't the Tesla tree, because when they had the outage last night, it might not have worked.
Actually, my power went out yesterday. It was wonderful. I was very excited that my power went out because the battery and the generator all worked perfectly. All my shit stayed on. It was great. And 3 minutes later, we were back to regular power.
Didn't you tell me last week you hadn't heard of any outages?
We hadn't had.
That was last week.
Yeah, that was last week. This was yesterday. We had an outage.
Now he's heard.
It's exciting. It's exciting when shit works. Okay.
Sure you out though.
I'm sitting there going, I need a prolonged 3-day electrical outage where everybody else has no power, and I am just like, oh, actually, there's at least within eye shot of me 3 houses that have generator.
I'm just imagining the entire street being completely dark except for Eric's house with full Christmas lights on.
Yeah, you would have your Christmas lights on. It's just a smug option.
Well, there are 3. One house actually has solar panels and a gas generator. So
Eric, you have to stop this before you start getting DMs that says, "For the right price, this can be arranged."
By the way, I didn't send you pictures of when I was in the middle of the week. I was out in Columbus, Ohio, visiting a customer, making sure all their shit works, and I went to one of my favorite little tapas places and had the pear divino. It's basically a pear that's poached in red wine. Let me tell you, it's amazeballs. But here, I'll upload. Let me upload this for you guys. This is we had to turn our lights on already for Christmas because our house is the house that the decorator is using in his ads. But let me see if I can send this up to our internal channel for the internal folks. Let's see. Should it be mid-show messages or? I don't know. I'll just put it in staff if I can find staff.
What are we looking at?
Hold on. Staff only, right? There we go. There's the Christmas. It'll be up there in a way. Christmas lights, the outside ones.
You paid someone to do that?
Yeah. I don't get up on a roof.
I agree. Yeah, I would have just like kind of wrapped some lights around the handrails and be like, good enough. Maybe change out the bulb in the street lamp and
see staff only. Green. There you go.
Eric, I see that. I'm expecting Rainbow Six team to be rappelling off the roof at any moment.
That's that would be. You can actually even see the green light of the generator on the ground off to the right. You need to see the giant tree. So there you go. That's the Christmas lights outside. It is a little bright. I mean, you have to understand, there's no spotlights on the front of that house. That's all the Christmas lights.
Do you have thick curtains?
No.
It's like...
Oh, let me decline that. Okay.
Can't sleep.
No, well, so there's no bedrooms in the front. Really? I mean, so when you look at the two with the candles on the second floor there off to the right, that's the loft. So there's nobody in there, and that's just lace curtains. All the bedrooms are across the back of the house.
Ah.
And the front of the house is the, if you on the left-hand side, the second floor. That's just walk-in closets and bathroom in the front. And then, behind the garage. So yeah, that's the Christmas lights. They're very bright. And they're LEDs. Sorry, guys, sorry, we're trying to, And we use Christmas Designer Plus. We use the LED filament lights, C9s. And I think that 9 inches apart is just a little too close. Maybe next year I'll rerun them and remeasure them. Maybe 12 inches apart will be a little better. A little less light. That's actually like November 1st or something. That picture. So.
Yeah, sorry, I was browsing around and I stumbled upon a very interesting website, and I have now found a place where I can get bear meat in Europe.
Bear meat?
Nice.
I don't think I've ever had bear meat.
Apparently there's this Swedish wild outlet where you can get moose and bear and whatnot, and they ship to the whole of the EU. So, sorry, McLeod.
Yeah, not EU. Fuck you.
You can get reindeer meat, that'd be even cooler.
I'm pretty sure you can. Hang on.
I've had reindeer sausage. It was pretty good.
Reindeer.
Yep, they have reindeer too.
Huh.
Let me just link it to you guys. You can look at all the nice meats.
If it doesn't come to the U.S., it's not a real company.
I know, Eric. There's nothing outside of the U.S.
There's nothing outside the U.S. I don't know where you guys think anything is.
Well, maybe there's like hat country, which is Canada, and then there's bottom country, which is Mexico. Other than that, there's nothing outside of
Canada is that imaginary place where they, where they do weird shit. It's crazy. Canada's crazy, man. They got shit like poutine and stuff like that. Oh, look at this. Look at this. We got reindeer fillet. We have the reindeer inner thigh.
Doesn't it look awesome? I'm getting very hungry looking at these.
Well, I see reindeer steak, inner thigh / calf. Well, the inner thigh is not the calf. I mean, where are they going here?
Are we going to start a war about cuts as well?
The calf is not the thigh. The thigh. I mean, there's two different things, man. All right. Sirloin. They get reindeer sirloin. Is it any good? Have you had the reindeer? Dried reindeer steak jerky.
So
yeah, I would eat more reindeer.
Chat is asking if the cause of the Jita protests has been resolved.
No.
It's just
Yes and no.
The issue with the issue that has always been plagued kind of like things like protests is, you know, people only have a certain amount of stamina that they can kind of like work with when it comes to sort of protesting.
Yeah, and I hear as men get older, they run out of stamina more.
You haven't sample tested that, Dawn?
Dawn, let me explain it to you. It isn't that men are out of stamina. We just don't give a fuck anymore. Okay? We're just like, fuck it. I'm going fishing. Fuck it. I'm taking a nap.
Eric, I think that was her point.
Exactly.
The answer is we will see.
Sorry, Hilmar.
As to whether or not the root cause of the Jita protests has been addressed. We'll see.
Hilmar still works there, right?
It's a thing going forward. Are CCP listening? Are they paying attention? Are they actually trying to figure out what the hell they don't know about their game?
I think the big point is, you know, the protests were kind of hard to miss, but you know, it's up to CCP as to whether they've determined whether they've actually missed that or not. Because like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
No, Royal Kit Royal. CCP is not farming us for salt. They are farming you for money. Okay. Okay. It is the whole reason that they jacked up the skills for the Rorqual, and then everybody bought shit and skilled into the Rorqual, so they made money there. And now they undid all that, and then they sold you at half price things to, you know, skill injectors, extractors, right? So that you can then move all those skills at probably a 20% loss in skill points. So you'll have to buy more skill points to get back where you were.
Or worse.
So that you can, get into the new ships, right? So they're just going to keep moving shit around. So you buy shit so that, you know, their earnings stay up, because clearly they aren't getting new people for the game. So, yeah, they got to maintain those profits somehow, and you are being milked like a herd of freaking milk cows.
I would like to say that games of chance always generally tend to, you know, have random elements, or they tend to be revolve around significant amounts of random elements. And there seems to be more and more RNG being put into EVE Online as the months pass. So that's kind of concerning for me.
Although, Caleb, I like the bear burgers. Bear burgers look good.
Yep.
And the bear beef knuckle.
Well, I am definitely going to try the bear. I am going to put in an order, and yeah.
Yeah, too bad they don't have whale.
Well, because the whole idea of eating bear was up in other news this week, if you don't remember.
How the fuck would they have whale?
Hey, I just want to know, because Caleb likes whale, they should cater to him. What is?
I can get that from Iceland, right? I can just. I'm sure there must be an outlet in Iceland that ships.
What is reindeer chaffing? Because that sounds a little gross.
I don't think exporting whale meat is legal.
Isn't it like
not sure.
Dried something slices of reindeer, the chaffing?
Yeah, but like, is it a part? Is it like, you know, hey, you know, I don't know.
I think it's when you do those almost whittling slices, and then you maybe air dry it or something. I think. We would have to get a Swede in the room to explain it, because yeah, this is a very local special.
Caleb, penalties of imprisonment or fines up to £5,000 for Britain, for example. So,
yikes!
Like, good luck with that.
No, Caleb, don't export it to Britain.
Yeah.
So
that's the basic answer.
So you're saying that I should order it for Mac?
Actually, for Danish people, you can import up to 10 kilos.
See, sweet.
I'll pick it up in the Republic of Ireland.
Or is it kind of just a little fatty?
No, it's very sweet actually. It's almost sweeter than horse as far as I know.
You need to get a permit though.
Oh, so there's a high bar. Sweeter than horse meat. Okay.
Horse meat is quite sweet.
We ride and love our horses here in the United States, kind of like our dogs.
So, yeah, and I am very fond, and I like pigs. I think they're the cutest animal. I don't care. I will kill it, and I will get my bacon. Thank you very much.
We over the UK in the UK we tend to sort of ride them, whip them, and then shoot them when they get a poor foot. So yeah,
I did find a place here, Wild Fork, in the US, where you can order your lovely ostrich fillets.
Zorn,
that's at all hard to do. You can get those in the supermarket.
I know. I can get ostrich eggs in the supermarket.
Zorn, I have to tell you that there are lots of people who ride their dogs, but I can't go into any more details because we would get
Don't Google it, chat. Do not Google that.
That really does tend to be frowned upon on the internet for broadcast purposes.
What does?
It's also illegal in most places, so that's that.
Yeah, don't be promoting that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking up, strip steaks and scallops and octopus and calamari, man. I don't know what you guys.
That's fine. That's not riding dogs, which is what Soth was talking about.
There's a lot of things about
Don't Google that shit.
You guys are a little scary. All right.
Agreed.
Well, we have Mike in the room. Maybe he can explain this for us.
No, we're talking about dogs.
Yeah, he's a grown-ass man these days.
Holy shit. Did he have another birthday?
Just one this year that I'm aware of.
That was met with silence. Every time he comes on the show, everybody wants to wish him happy birthday. I'm just saying.
Oh, it's more than just on the show.
I know. Let's see. Not so much. We just send our horses to Mexico and have them turned into steaks and glue. I don't know. I love horses. Ponies, horses, they're awesome. All right, so what else are we going to talk about here? 210. So we got our Christmas shows lined up, our holiday shows lined up. So we're going the Saturday after Thanksgiving, next Saturday, correct?
And we're ready for massive amounts of T1 mining.
T1 mining.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Could we maybe hammer that one home? CCP.
No.
Do not make it 0% waste. Thank you.
I think the takeaway to this is essentially it's so complicated. CCP's made the whole process so complicated that we're just gonna do T1 mining because it's just easier on our brains.
I personally like what Bartgo's proposed way more, being instead of like a waste mechanic, have a reward mechanic that increases through skills and a higher skilled module.
Well, not specifically skill, but using the tech too. Instead of saying it's waste, say, yeah, you're getting a bonus. It's not just stuff appearing out of nowhere, though. You're extracting deeper into the rock and you're pulling out a higher tier variation, which we already have. We have, what was it I said? Let me find it because I've closed the page. So for something like Veldspar, we've got normal Veldspar, concentrated, dense, and then the old Moon one that was stable. Basically make it that with T2. If you have good skills, you're not pulling out, say, concentrate from a concentrated rock. You're pulling out dense from a concentrated rock.
You're asking for a significant recode to a lot of moving parts.
Is it, though?
Yes.
Horrendous. They've had 2 years.
Yes, but
Dos años.
Yes, but here's the problem with that at this point. Okay, they've had 2 years. Clearly, those 2 years have not been used for X. Therefore, if you are asking for significant changes to a lot of moving parts, you are asking for, can we take another 2 years where we are right now? While you get all that sorted.
I really doubt they put 2 years of development into these changes.
It doesn't matter if they did. It matters whether or not it will take them another 2 years to do what you guys want. If it's going to take them that much longer, then no, it's not worth it.
Well, I mean,
you're not wrong.
Just getting the compression right is taking them more time. Because guess what? I'm willing to bet the entire delay there is the moving parts that needed to be in place to actually pull straight from your ore hold to do the compression were never coded, hadn't been thought of, nobody realized it, so now they're scrambling to code that stuff.
Apparently so. Ash alluded to it on his forum post that this isn't just them taking it back in because it's badly received. This is actual technical issues.
Right.
But this is back to something that the Dunk have pointed out, right? Turn the knobs that you have, and I completely agree with him on that. If you want to change something as fundamental as the overarching macroeconomics and ecosystem, try turning the knobs that are easy, like database entries of actual blueprints and things like that.
No.
I hate to be that
twisting fucking knobs. They've been twisting fucking knobs for 10 years. No, that doesn't address root causes. It doesn't address the actual way things work. It just adjusts a couple of numbers here and there and fixes nothing.
Well, I would tend to partially agree, but you must agree that there is a really, really big issue with something as fundamental as the building time on blueprints. These things are just feels like fucking random numbers that are not balanced to what the item produced is, right? And this needs an overhaul.
But twisting some knobs won't fix that. Twisting some knobs just preserves the imbalance and fiddles with it a little bit until people go, "Ah, see, we totally changed it. We tweaked it. Everything's great." Yes, now we got to wait 6 months to see what effect that has.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Will clearly fix the hack matter, right?
Well, just remember, they want to make sure that the mining ship changes are done properly, because being stuck with an obvious best choice and best build out of a whole list of ships so that everybody only ever uses one or two, that's not what EVE is about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sure. Fly a Munin and tell me that. How many years of that has that one ship been basically the whole goddamn meta?
It's been the absolute love of, small gang sort of groups.
Fighting, hold on, are we talking about the hack meta, sorry?
We are now.
Talking about the disconnect between the fact that the hack meta exists and the way...
Yeah. But horrendous. Larrikin and Convict were talking about it on the Eve Down Under stream this morning, and they figured out how to break the hack meta. They're going to... No. They're going to buff Armageddon Navy issues, and then follow up with a buff to Zealots.
So they're going to buff a ship that still already isn't being used because it takes too fucking long to get anywhere with a battleship.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're gonna
buff the hacks.
Yes.
Brilliant.
I am 100% they had to be trolling at that point, because you can't take it seriously.
Also,
there's no way that wasn't trolling.
Also, if you just buff the Navy Garden so much that it gets better than all the hacks, then everyone would just be flying Navy Gardens.
Yeah.
Will they? Because you've got to do the faction building now.
Oh god, yeah, no.
Building a faction battleship, that's still a thing.
I mean, here's a way to solve the hack matter. If battleships were actually a bit cheaper, you could use them to counter hacks.
You already can.
I know.
If you're defending, you can't use them as an attack ship because they're not fast enough to get anywhere.
Yeah,
you take like 2 days to get to where you're going.
It's not worth it right now because building hacks is actually cheaper than building battleships.
And the proposed changes by CCP are let's increase the amount of T2 stuff that people can pull out of moons.
But
that won't change the price of hacks at all.
I mean, how would you get battleships cheaper so that they would actually be able to be used as a
Soft, we don't want to get battleships cheaper.
Changes.
But Soft, we don't want cheaper battleships because, as Ratati says, that's priced everyone else out of the mining market.
Right, because all of the minerals people are mining actually
already. Make it like the capital version. You get one use. Make it so the DPS ships, the most common ship in the fleet, isn't the tankiest ship in the fleet. So that, people will shoot the DPS ships.
Instead of the Logi.
Instead of literally everything else, so that most of a fleet just leaves. And your only real losses in DPS shit comes during the extraction.
Yeah.
That would
Munin go Bert.
This isn't difficult shit.
That would require CCP to have hands-on experience with PvP beyond because they don't ever do anything that they haven't experienced themselves.
Them to listen.
Okay,
well,
over
the last 10 years,
brings us back to the question of: have the causes of the Jita riots been addressed? We'll see if they listen.
Yeah.
All I have to say is that if they want to spawn my fucking fleet and they can see how a fleet fight goes, they're more than welcome to. Like, seriously. They can see how, like, an ADC actually works. Also, make battleships great again, for fuck's sake.
That's FFS for
Well, aside from all the tweaking of numbers and stuff, I do think that one of the most important takeaways from the whole patch discussion is the Skinner box topic that also Bart pointed out, right? That you really need to consider whether you want a negative Skinner box feature in the game. This is like so fucking wrong, and CCP really needs to go back to the drawing board and flip this on its head, because I do not want to see something that is a negative effect when I am playing a game. That's just wrong. It has exactly the opposite psychological effects, right? I will say to CCP, could you please go and talk to CCP Ghost, because he will agree with every one of the fucking player base that's been saying this is bad. I don't want to see what I'm destroying and wasting. That is not what we want in a game. You want to see something that dings on an RNG and basically becomes a luck thing or a loot box thing where I keep feeling that I am almost about to win. This is what you want in game design. This is game design 101. I do not understand how you did the opposite.
If you want me to keep wanting to do something, make the thing give me a dopamine hit.
Exactly.
Don't make the thing piss me off.
The fundamental problem that they have at the moment with regards to sort of designing this is the fact that they don't realize that certain aspects or certain mantras that work in the real world with regards to certain things in this, certain things that exist in EVE Online in some degree of parallelity, even though if that's a fucking word I don't even know.
It is now. Welcome to English.
Some of that doesn't actually work when you translate it from the real world to like virtual worlds like Eve.
Yeah,
one of those things is, and I think you kind of said it. You said it fairly aptly, like yesterday.
Last night?
Like shelter and food.
Yeah. There's things in real life that you have to do because you have to do them. Like, if you don't do the thing that lets you eat, you don't eat, and then you die. In Eve, if you don't do the thing that lets you do X, you just go to a different game where you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. And this is this is one of the fundamental things. This is one of the fundamental aspects of, you know, Eve being a virtual world that like is totally and utterly like opposite. You know, it runs completely the opposite direction.
Eve,
you know, with
actual
Eve with actual real life mantras, like, and this is something that Rotati just absolutely fundamentally doesn't get. He doesn't get it.
Nor does Hilmar, because he seems to have got that same idea from reading Free Body Problem, right? Instead of getting the right idea, which is what the alien species does, right? Which is go into hibernation during chaos eras, you know where that's come from, and just fuck off for a millennia until it's over. Like, he's missed the one point that it's trying to tell him and taken something else from it.
It's
like he read half the book and was like, "Oh, this is great. I'm not going to read the other half because
he took the bit where humans are hooked on this virtual world, but ignored the fact that the alien species referenced in said virtual world, whenever shit gets bad, they just hibernate for a millennia.
Just fucking log off.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, log off and leave the game for a while. Here's the thing. Nobody pays for entertainment that pisses them off. You go somewhere. Life is not always rewarding for everybody. Okay? And we don't want to do the things that we don't want to do in entertainment, right? That's an escapist place of happiness where we go to do things that we enjoy and so don't fill your game with shit that people don't enjoy, and don't explain it like it's a frickin' punishment. Everything should be explained as it's a cool thing, right? I mean, there's things you got to do things, and some of it's a little bit of work, and I kind of get that. But don't like the whole explanation of, well, we're going to double the mining output, and then we're going to make all this waste if you don't do this stuff, and you won't get the double output. You get less, or you get the same, or whatever. No, hey, we're going to boost mining output if you do these things, and you're going to get more minerals. That's all they needed to say. Up to double.
It's the phrasing, right?
Up to double.
If you're introducing something that is going to be received in a negative way, you always frame it with the positives, right? So you walk away not necessarily feeling that hit. And this patch, right, the reading of that dev block felt like all punches to the face.
You're in sales and you're in development. You're in sales. You're selling the freaking product. So don't do shit and say shit that makes it unattractive. How dumb are you? Sorry, my rant's off.
Caleb,
I'm off soapbox.
No, it's fine. That's fine. Caleb, it's not just that dev blog that's punching you in the face, though. It's every dev blog for the last 2.5 years. And probably more.
Then we're going to tiptoe into the road of good intentions.
Let's keep in mind that Caleb's only recently woken up.
Well, that's because I listened to and I forgot to actually look at implementation.
Is this the point where I link it?
Let's order the boy some Minky Whale or whatever the fuck he eats. I mean,
damn it, Saul.
Well, that was what they promised. It's not what they delivered. And again, I'm going to quote my significant other that keeps reminding me, well, what creates conflict is differences, right? It is wealth imbalance. The fact that your neighbor has water, I don't. If we both don't have water, we're not going to fight.
There's no point trying to take his water because he ain't got any.
Exactly. So poverty is like not the solution. I can see why they said, well, okay, we're going to have to turn the faucets down. But if you turn them all down, you just have equal opportunity poverty. Like no one can fight in poverty.
Yeah, it's another real life mantra. It's another real life mantra that just does not function in Eve in the virtual world of Eve.
So it does, because in the real world it is differences, right? It is the difference in wealth level and power level and who can shut off water for someone else. That is exactly what creates conflict.
Because
when they say, and if you want to create conflict, one of the big things to avoid doing is hitting everybody. Because I don't know if you've noticed this, but when something really horrific happens and there's no way to get out of the situation, everybody tends to work together because that improves their odds of survival.
You ain't fighting each other for water if neither of you have water, because you're going to spend more of it trying to fight each other than just sitting where you are.
Well,
which is exactly what we've seen with this war.
But if you read the dev blog, right? It read as if they were going to actually create these differences, except that's not really what they've done. They've almost done the opposite. They've just completely squeezed everyone to a point where they can't replace anything. They can't, not even by choosing, say, different doctrines. Renders does all the fucking math on that count. It's like, if everything just goes to not possible denial of activity, this is back to what it feels like. Everything they've changed feels like a denial of play. Like, same with the compression thing. Well, you can sit here and look at this thing compressing, or you can lock out and wait for more time. It's like, this is not how you do game design. Sure, you can do diminishing returns and you can move the resources so they don't actually appear easily right now, and you have to like go somewhere else. That's fine. But if you basically just make me log out, you're killing the game. That is not how you make money in games.
So yeah,
Caleb, haven't you heard?
What? Go ahead.
Sorry, Eric.
Go ahead. You go and then I'll go.
CCP having a viable income stream isn't a God-given right.
Wow.
Well,
fired.
so
they really need to focus on how do they incentivize us to give them money, and this is not how.
So this is
it's not.
This is the funny thing, right? So people say adapt or die, right? Here it's a simple fact of economics. Okay, either they are making these changes to drive a revenue stream and don't think for 1 minute that they're not, because they are here to make money. The question is, are they driving the right revenue stream, right? Do they have a diminishing player base and need to find alternate sources of income because people aren't paying subscriptions? Don't know the answer to that question, by the way, right? Or should they just make this game, awesome as fuck so that people want to subscribe again, right? When I hear things like Rattati says, and whether he did or he didn't, says players had it too good. And adapt or die, right?
That's not entirely wrong. Well, that's not entirely wrong. The Age of Abundance was a massive problem, and we suffered.
Hold on. You don't say that. Okay? I don't give a shit if it's true as fuck. Okay? You don't say shit about your players. Okay? There's a reason Amazon's number one. I'm going to revisit again for this team, right? Because they have the internal mantra, okay, that they are customer obsessed. They want to please the customer. They want the customer to be satisfied with what they get, and they want them to be satisfied with the delivery experience, right?
Yeah, I need to help Eric and point out he's not talking about Amazon games. He's talking about Amazon.
But it is Amazon's corporate mantra. No matter what division you're in, they say you are to be customer obsessed. You go through Amazon training, because my kids did, right? It'll be mentioned to the most introductory member of Amazon 100 times in a one-day training event, okay? So when you're sitting here and you sit there and your people, and I've said this about CCP many times, okay? When your people say stupid shit, don't let them say stupid shit, okay? Because I don't give a shit about Ratatouille right now. I think he's a complete and utter idiot. It doesn't matter if he's the smartest man in the world. He's saying stupid shit, okay? And by the way, the adapt or die is, as a corporation, you adapt or die. If you don't satisfy a customer base and have viable customer, guess what? You are out of business.
Hang on a second.
Go ahead.
Hang on a second. Because this is something that's trotted out for Eve over every single fucking change.
All the fucking time.
Yeah.
Everything is adapt or die, adapt or die. Oh, this benefits the big guys more than the little guys. Adapt or die, adapt. What's really important to keep in mind with the adapt or die mantra, the vast majority of adaptation is die.
And then you have no product.
And log off. What happens? What happens? Thing is, adapt or die.
Small businesses adapt quickly. Most of them adapt quickly by folding.
Well, I mean, when you look at what was,
think about it. You get into small business gets into an untenable situation where the adapt or die thing comes up. Yes, some of them will find a successful way of doing things. The rest die. That is their adaptation. That is how they adapt to the situation.
Mm-hmm. You close up shop, cut your losses, and call it a day.
And that's the thing. No matter what the situation that you're trying to apply the adapt or die mantra to in Eve, just remember that the most common adaptation is death.
And the other thing is, like, we may represent the Imperium significantly here, and we may complain about how the development of Eve is going, but you can bet your fucking ass that we will adapt better than most groups out there.
Yeah. Oh God, yes.
But that doesn't mean that we can't. That doesn't mean that we can't strive for a better game for everyone.
Right. And then because we're in the Imperium doesn't mean that, like, for example, not all of my friends are in the Imperium. Not all of my friends are in Nullsec.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of friends who play Eve that are completely divorced from everything I do in Eve, and I don't want them to stop having fun.
No, I want more people to come to this game.
I want them to. Yeah, exactly. I want more people to be able to play this game. I want more play styles to be able to play this game. I want there to be a viable. I want there to be a viable option for a play style that lets you be the fucking Viking raider who actually lives through piracy, where you take a ship from somebody. You don't just blow it up and pick through the freaking bones.
Mm-hmm.
Take the goddamn ship and sell it.
Can I just point out something slightly important here? If CCP keeps trying to nerf the game because of things like no-lifers and maximum scalability and stuff like that, when you do that at a massive, massive risk of killing the game completely for everyone else. If you are if you're squeezing the game design to basically nerf someone that plays 18 hours a day, right? Even if it's a bot, I don't care. The point is, if you're doing that, life for someone that only plays 2 hours is going to be horrible. So you really need to stop this. And this is why the whole nerf goons, like, I'm of course a goons player, but goons are really good at the min-maxing, right? They try to break every game and take the maximum advantage of everything. They have tons of no-lifers and people that are way too brainy for their own good. If you nerf the game because of them, you're completely gonna kill the game. What you need is something that is slightly rebalancing and putting some, I don't know, challenges to those groups. That's fine, but they need to be on the scale that only impacts those groups. When you're doing it from the bottom, you are killing your game.
And the other thing to keep in mind is something that every tabletop GM is confronted by every single time they play. Okay? Yes, let's assume CCP's development team knows their game inside and out. Okay, you know exactly what you're doing. That's great. You know what? Just in the Imperium, there are some 10,000 of us. Do you have 10,000 physical brains working each problem?
No.
No.
You're not going to keep up. Your players will outthink you. And the big tool from the DM's toolbox for this is let them. Just never tell them that they've done it. And when they confidently announce, "Ha-ha, blah," you go, "My God, you're right. I guess I was thinking that all along." And play with them like you're fucking fighting with judo. Use their momentum against them.
Yeah.
So I want to address two things in chat.
Okay, go ahead, Barghost.
So someone said CCP have said they're happy to lose veteran players as long as they're getting in new players. Yeah, look at the PCU. They're not getting the new players. They're just driving the game into the ground.
Yeah, the other thing is that
hold
idea
on,
is...
Mac.
Yeah, let him give us two things out, Mac.
Sorry, Arendis.
Bye-bye, Arendis.
The second comment, which kind of ties into this, is from Six Donuts. Too many stockpiles of ships left. Those need to be sold before CCP can start increasing resource availability. Yeah, sure.
I'm going to say no.
But go out and fight in those ships. Well, no. People aren't going to go out and fight in those ships if there's no availability to replace them.
Yeah.
You know, people keep going, losses need to mean something.
Right.
Yes,
and
losses do now mean something. It means they're not getting lost because people aren't willing to risk it.
Well, and I'm going to come over the top with your comment and further reinforce it by saying you realize nullsec is all about extended wars. Okay? They're going to have stockpiles, and the people who supply to nullsec are going to maintain stockpiles of those ships, okay? Because you can't make them in an extended war. You have to have them. So by default, there are going to be massive stockpiles of ships in this game. It's just the way it is. Okay? And, you know, I mean, it's just a fundamental not understanding of the game. If you say that stockpiles have to be sold before they can do whatever. Let's put it this way.
That's not how stockpiles fucking work.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, I mean, hey, the bottom line is, if you don't produce a product that people want to buy, that's fine. You can complain about it. You can say there's salt, or, you know, people can't adapt, or whatever it is. You have to make a product people want to buy. I don't think CCP is making a game necessarily that people want to buy, and we established this on the last show. CCP made a game that is an incredible social hub for people who want to stick together. I have a tremendous amount of pilots that I will not sub until the next time that, you know, goons get attacked. And then I'll log in and do that shit and make sure that we win again. Okay? But in the meantime, CCP doesn't need that money. They don't need that money. I don't need to train any more skills. I don't need to train any more skills. They don't need the money.
Nope.
Can I just address something very fast?
Mac was next. Sorry, Mac was next. Then you can go. Let Mac go, because I interrupted him. Okay, then you go, Caleb. You go, Caleb.
I just want to go on what Bart was talking about, because I think it's extremely important, and I think CCP is missing the point. I know that you can say there's a churn of players in a game, but if you sacrifice the brain power of a game like EVE Online, this is not like other games. This is not a theme park. This is not some on-rails bullshit where you don't really care who's playing your game, because the people that they are talking about when they say, well, we can sacrifice some of the veterans. Well, those veterans, at least Siegel understood, they are the ones creating the content in the game. And we've talked about this so much on this show. I would like to see some refreshment and new blood coming into some of these groups, of course, but you have to understand that the institutional knowledge that are in those groups is required to make this game work. Let's say we reset this game tomorrow, it would be completely unplayable. Completely unplayable. So if they poo-poo on nullsec and nullsec's content, they are sacrificing their own game. They should actually do the opposite of trying to make sure that the stuff that happens when players create content have more repercussions, more chaos and volatility inducing effects, like it used to in the old days before Abundance, where even a small skirmish war basically trickled into the entire economy. That's not happening anymore, right? So they're working backwards. They do not. It feels to me like they do not understand what EVE Online is. They do not understand how different it is from any other game out there. And then they sit at these GDC meetings and listen to other developers and other developers' smart ideas. These ideas only work because their games are shit. They do not have massive online games. They don't have massive numbers of players. They have sharded universes of on-rail bullshit with 10-on-10 versus capabilities. This is nothing like EVE. They don't have a creation destruction design. None of these things that make EVE unique exist in any other game. Small part, yes, but the whole thing, not at all. This is the only thing in gaming that works the way it does.
So, and by the way, you have some things. And by the way, all companies decide where their market is, right? So I don't necessarily have a problem. The problem I have is if CCPX says, we don't care about veterans, right? There's a limit to developing game content for people who have been here for 15, 20 years, right? Don't bitch and moan or don't celebrate that your game has been here for 15 or 20 years when you're not taking care of those people, right? Now, by the way, you're going to have more Titans because people, if they stay with your game and they're the highest skill level, are going to have those things and more people are going to join that group. Is that a bad thing? No. Okay.
No, it's not. Like the issue that like people have when they say like, oh, you know, there shouldn't be that many Titans in the game. It's like, you know, the only reason why that's being said is because, you know, having that many Titans has a significant issue with like the balance of those ships versus everything else. Yeah, the problem isn't the amount of ships; it's the balance of those ships in the game. Once you solve how those things are balanced between each other, numbers doesn't actually fucking matter because they will cancel each other. They will kind of balance each other out.
But can I just answer chat for a second, because they keep saying that the whole tie-dye thing is a problem. No, the tie-dye thing is the solution to the fact that computers right now cannot do more than 100 versus 100. So if you want big scale stuff to happen, the solution is tie-dye. Yeah. No one has an alternative to tie-dye out there. So stop with this whining. And we need these massive big fights. And this is where Titans belong. This is where big structures belong. Okay, it can be boring, but this is the scale between a skirmish and a war. And these battles are exactly what I would call real EVE players are waiting for, to see, to participate in, even if it's a little bit of a horror show to sit there and have to go and fold laundry and stuff. But these are the battles that matter. They are the ones that go in the history books. What you do in Poshwin with 5 other dudes, no one cares. It's not newsworthy.
By the way, there's a million other places in EVE where you can use those little ships. I don't give a fuck if I would not care if nullsec was solely the purview of groups with capitals, super capitals, and Titans. I don't care. Because guess what? That's just one place in the game. And those people will gravitate to play the game the way they want to play the game in that area. Okay? Now, you can't take those things to low sec and high sec. Go play there with your little dinky ships if you want to. I don't fucking care. Okay? Adapt.
Don't get me wrong, that's fun. It's fun to do small and skirmishes and one-on-one.
Sometimes it is, and it's great to have that place to go do it, right?
But geopolitics, and the reason that EVE is unique is because these other things can happen. And I think CCP needs to focus on how can they push that button and get us to want to do that even more. I'm not saying we should squeeze more people into a system, because servers are already like trying and stuff when there's 6,000 people. But make us want to fight more big fights, not less.
I just want to point out...
Can I address something?
Smug first, then you, Bargus. Go ahead, Smug.
Yeah.
Okay, so... someone says that small groups could get bigger if the giant groups stop holding all the space and being greedy.
Same comment as I was going to go for.
I'm sorry, but CCP just fucked you on that, because we already have thousands of Titans and Supers. We already have them, right? We are saying it's harder to get them now. So you're not going to catch up. But we don't have to catch up. We are already the big dogs. We have all of the toys. So how are you going to take that space?
Yeah. And thank you, Soft. That's exactly what I was going to go for. Yeah. CCP just pulled the ladder up behind us. You are never going to get large enough to compete and be bigger because CCP just pulled it up behind us and stopped you.
And by the way, nullsec is a different play style. You are not entitled as a small group to have your own solar system. Adapt or fucking die.
Eric. I'm not going to be mean like that.
Right.
I'm not going to be mean like that.
I am because I can. I'm the fucking host.
That pre these changes, they had the chance to do some mining in HiSec, build some ships, build some dreads. I know a group with someone that a couple people in here also know, and he went out of his way to build a dread fleet before the changes because he knew exactly what the impact was going to be. He hasn't built a single dread since that change, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I mean,
but he built over 100 before in 1 month.
Hey, cry me a fucking river if you think goons are too powerful. Fuck you. I don't care. Okay. Adapt or die.
Can we address one thing? Like, if you are 50 dudes, you do not have the God-given right to a nation state. This is something that only belongs when you are several hundred, even thousands strong. That is when you can actually own and hold sovereignty. This other thing of everyone should have housing and sovereignty. No, they shouldn't. Sovereignty belongs with nation states, and that needs to be big groups. I know that some people disagree with that, and I will say, well, then EVE is not for you. EVE is supposed to be a scale game. It's in the name, and I was trying to say this on Between Two Keepstars last episode, that EVE has succeeded in creating what is in the name of the company creating it, right? Crowd control production. We have groups in EVE that are several hundred people and more strong. This is exactly what it says on the tin. This is what it's supposed to do. I know that some people don't like working in groups of more than Dunbar's number, and that's fine. It's just the whole premise of this game is to see what happens when these organizational things of people becomes a game. And to that effect, EVE Online is the only successful massive multiplayer online game in existence.
By the way, you can be your own little nation state and have your own little kind of rules and things and be part of Goonswarm. I've done it, right? I've been a CEO of a small group of people, 50, 60 people in Goonswarm, and we rolled our own way. We had our own little things where we went out and fought people on our own little groups, and we fought with big groups because Goons gives you that. And you have the safety. Now, I didn't have a system in my corporation's name, and that was very sad. It was terrible. It really diminished the game for me. I almost cried.
And seriously, I know that we poo-poo on renting models and all that stuff. But in all honesty, this is exactly what we need. Smaller groups need to be incorporated under bigger groups and be organizationally of a size that can call themselves at least a republic or a small state or something. But that is how you then have space, and who you live with and in what country, nation state you reside is going to tell you whether your life sucks or not, just like in real life. So this is why is the Imperium so successful? Because they have actually been pretty good at trying to make life good for the groups that it's comprised of. And that is not something that you need to get CCP to come and help you nerf. You need to adapt and do the same. And I've said this for many years now. The reason that everyone keeps hating on Goons is because they're playing this game the way it's supposed to be played, and everyone else wants some entitlement where they don't have to mine, or they don't have to do logistics, or they don't have to do organizational planning, or they don't have to do recruiting. It's like they always want something for nothing.
They want participation medals.
The one thing which like, you know, I've always sort of actually quite admired EVE Online up until kind of somewhat recently-ish. It is kind of one of these strange things that is a bit of a parallel between EVE and real life, which is that for a large period of you know my experience in EVE is that EVE doesn't really consider its play, like, you know, your participation for it to be fair. Like, to some degree, yes, but for the majority of, like, you know, what you do, how you do things, like, it doesn't kind of say, oh, you're hard done by. Here's a whole bunch of this, or here's a whole bunch of, like, other things, this, that, and the other. Like, no, like, this game is a good parallel with life in terms of the fact that life isn't fair. Sometimes Eve isn't fair.
And seriously, when it comes to these things, just a sec, I want to address this. If you look at how many times, in the name of quality of life, CCP has removed restrictions, upkeep, barrier of entry, bottlenecks, time sinks, all these things, every time they do this, it breaks the game. These are exactly the things that can make it a little bit complicated to be in a nation state, to actually run a nation state. And every time they lower these things, they are basically making it even harder for lean, smaller groups to compete. So they're doing the opposite of what they should be doing. Best example is, remember how many things they got rid of compared to POS and structures in HiSec. No requirements of standing, no voucher requirements to fuel these things. All of the things that made that created that barrier of entry, right? So, and it was a fair barrier. It's not like they asked you to be a trillionaire. They just asked you to actually do some effort and actually accept that there's a difference in space. But
it was effort based on size, right? Like,
exactly.
Know, it's a case of, like, you know, you're not expecting the same the group of 5 to, you know, to produce the same as a group of 50, but, like, you know, the other thing is, you're not somehow artificially, you know, increasing the trying to
and then
artificially increase the capacity of the group of 4 or 5
and now you have
as good as the 50.
And now you have the problem, right, where everyone can drop them, and then people start coming up with stupid suggestions like, let's put a hard cap on how many structures can be in space. How about putting back the barriers that we used to have that actually worked?
Yeah, there's that.
Because hard caps is always horrible. If you hard cap anything in a game like Eve, you're basically saying that the sandbox stops here, right? You can only play with sand this long. Again, stopping play, right? And every time they talk about hard limits or infinities, this is where the game breaks. You need to make this balance. This is also why you should not have 0% waste, CCP. It should be like 1 or 2%.
And was it you touched on some aspect of you know, like the barrier of entry for HiSec kind of or HiSec sort of structures, right? Like, I remember and I used to use people who created a living out of, you know, putting down structures for other groups, for smaller groups. Like, you know, when the whole Citadel kind of patch came in, and they just blanket kind of went, oh yeah, anybody can put any structure in HiSec space, like, regardless of you know, regardless of standing.
You're right. I was like, that was a whole economy.
Fuck. There was a whole subset of people who helped other people with doing that you just completely nuked out of the game.
Yeah, and the possibility of real estate got lost, right? Because that was what that could have led to, right? Someone can actually grind to a point where they have the standing, they can actually launch these structures, then they can sell them to the person that ordered them, right? It's killing ecosystem and economies and professions.
Hold on, I gotta address this in chat.
It's just killing people's, like, the capacity of different play styles in the game, and this is, and then, you know, if you want to know how to increase the number of people playing your game, increase the number of things that you can do in the game, and increase the number of play styles that people can achieve in the game.
Yeah. So we are now dumber for having read Cortexian's statement, I think, if I'm interpreting it correctly. Okay, their group of 5 needs to be able to go and raid villages and fields of the nation states in Eve. So long as they can do that, then the balance is cool. If they want their own space nation, they need to grow, but equally they shouldn't need a nation-sized group to disrupt a nation. And by the way, that's pretty much true today. You can go in with 5.
May I remind that a certain person... Sorry, Eric.
But when I come with 10 people, fuck you. Okay?
Yeah,
when I come with 50 to kill your 5, okay? Fuck you. Okay?
Yeah, you know, like Somalia needs to have the capacity. Like if they don't have it right now, they need to have the capacity to be able to literally sidle up to fucking Norfolk military base and just blitz it.
Yeah, they should be able to do that. That makes no sense.
So, may I remind the room that did exist before these changes, and there was a certain person called Olmeca who was able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Olmeca who actually hates these changes as well and thinks it's ridiculous that CCP
who has sided against the changes, right?
So, but I mean, it's just the thing, right? A group of 5, okay, can never go against a group of 50. It's not gonna happen, guys. In a group of 5,
No. There should be select situations, maybe, where a group of 5 can, but they have to.
The bottom line is, if 5 people come to go after in the old Oracle days, if 5 people come after a Oracle and we decide to drop supers on those 5 people, you're in the big nation state. Go pick on a smaller nation state. Okay.
But that's why Olmeca did what he did, right? He had a very special setup.
Yeah, you can't.
He would go
5 people.
He was able to do.
Don't.
He was able to.
I get it. But 5 people. The whole concept of 5 people being to significantly disrupt, which is the intent of the comment, because now it's in caps.
I mean, he did. He did.
He did.
He disrupted some things, but he didn't significantly disrupt anything.
Yeah, whenever he was running, though, people would like pretty much stop with the fucking excavators.
Guys,
so,
as Brisk has just said, and on top of that, other people have referenced it. Rooks and Kings. But oh wait, CCP killed their playstyle.
Killed their playstyle. Yeah. But the thing is, like, yes, you know, there are certain situations. Like we're talking when we talk about like a 5-person shouldn't be able to you know, just take on a 50-person thing. Like we're talking in absolute generalities here. Like there should be situations where that is possible. Like for the example being Olmeca, right? But the thing is, Olmeca, when he was doing his thing in Delve, like he spent an absolute fuck ton of time and effort in terms of preparation in order to do what he did, and that is one of the clearest. That should be one of the clearest examples of when, you know, a smaller force can, you know, take on and achieve things over a larger force when they do a significantly larger amount of preparation, you know, for that sort of stuff.
Yeah, like, you want to try and roll a wormhole into goons.
Okay.
Well, I just don't care about a 5-person group, but okay, go ahead, Sloth.
You're all missing the point here. It's not about 5 people going up with combat ships against 50 people with combat ships. Okay? It's about whether the 50 people actually care about defending their ratters, right? And their miners.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the 5 people are forcing the 50 people to care about protection, right? Mm-hmm. They force them to put in more effort. So they are having an effect by forcing these people to have ships ready to save their people when the 5 people come in.
It's the cost in effort to actually defend, right? And this is also why I'm not saying that CCP needs to make it horrible, but they need to at least consider looking at things like upkeep cost, fuel, assailability of infrastructure, especially the smaller stuff, right? I'm not saying that 5-man group should be able to with some terror attack shut down 1DQ, but I'm saying maybe attacking one or two moon mining platforms and actually set them back X amount of hours. This should be something that is possible. The disruption of bigger organization by these small incursions and skirmishes is also exactly what I would suspect the nation states want, because then they have something to fight, something to defend, some actual content.
But fundamentally, 5 people are going to come in, and they're going to harass the miners, and then Goonswarm's going to drop Theta, and they're going to blow the hell out of the 5 people. And that's the way it should work. Sorry. 5 people shouldn't be able to make anything.
The funny thing is, Goonswarm used to be able to do this, or you would like do this in sort of off time zones and stuff with things like Siege. Like, what do you think Siege Fleet was actually like meant to be? It was meant to give the hostiles who had at the time larger, more potent forces the runaround to exhaust them.
Yeah, and you can, but yeah. And by the way, it's 3:00. We got to run. I got to go help someone. So let's do our one last thing real quick. Good show, good show. A lot of bitching. I love when we bitch and yell and scream. It's kind of fun. And that's why everybody went into bigger blocks, right? To protect themselves. So, you know, that's gameplay getting larger. So, Bargos, why don't you start with your one last thing?
I don't know. I've said everything, so, you know.
All right, Caleb.
I would just like to point out to Brisk and the rest of chat, upkeep cost is not about decay. It's about upkeep cost.
Okay. Dawn, you still here?
Yeah, just been listening.
All right. You got one last thing?
Just keep giving feedback. Come up with good ideas, and we'll see what we can get worked out. Hopefully CCP will pick up on a couple of the good ideas that I have seen out there.
Sounds good. Soth?
Yeah, I really hope we're gonna get done with this fucking bullshit economy shit soon, because I can think of way more exciting things to talk about here than mining.
Yeah. Wish we were talking about war and battles and all that good stuff.
Or new ships, or new mechanics, new
Well, I told you about the new Rorqual mechanic in Sav Warfare, right? That's new. That's real. I'm not making that shit up.
A rebalance of large guns. CCP, please. Large gun rebalance.
McLeod.
So, I think one of the main things that I've been saying, like, for the majority of the show, is essentially understand where reality and virtual worlds differ. And way back when I said Eve needs an ecologist, not an ecosystem engineer, the reason why I said an ecologist is because you need to learn, because at the time CCP seemed very, it seemed very much like CCP didn't understand the ecology of EVE Online. And they needed to learn how EVE Online, how the systems and how the interaction with EVE Online functions, and how it's different to real life. And it's a fundamental thing that they fucked up, and it's a fundamental thing that it seems Ratati doesn't understand.
Yep. But that's because he doesn't understand the history, right? And the dirty solution that CCP came up with. Because all of those have been horrible.
So my one last thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. My one last thing is I'm going to quote my good friend, Briskrubal. There was a time when small groups could dunk on the big groups all day long. And then they added jump fatigue. Thanks, CCP. Alrighty. And we are out of here.
Hey.
Well, we'll be out of here as soon as the button gets pushed. There we go. Bye, everyone.
Later, Eric.